Hello folks, Everchanger here, welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time, we surprisingly enough obtained the HM Waterfall, and therefore we fully explored Route 14 south of the newly discovered Undella Town. And we discovered this little passageway in the depths of Route 14, so I think this episode we are going to be exploring it. So, you know what Landorus is like when it means business, huh? Yeah, I do. It changes into another form and flies around the sky. Thundurus and Tornadus change forms too. Well, that's the story anyway. That's good then. You know, I've only heard about it in stories too. This little shrine is dedicated to a Pokemon called Landorus. They say that when Tornadus and Thundurus were whipping up storms that damage houses and fields all over the Unova region, Landorus made them stop. That's a story from when my grandpa was just a little kid. Yes, indeed, this area is dedicated to a Pokemon known as Landorus, which is a legendary Pokemon that roams around the Unova region. So, I think without further ado, we ought to explain this area as much as we can. It is the great Landorus that protects this land. With its help, we are assured of rich soil and a prosperous harvest. Very nice, and somehow they have cable television here too, which is pretty awesome. Anyway, you might notice that I am recording this in January because it continues to be spring in my game. That is because next episode I am going to be covering something that happens only on Mondays, which means I am accelerating the recording of this particular part of the game just so I can cover that without being too pressed for time. But that is next episode, and this is this episode, so let's just explore this area even more. Already had that one, unfortunately. Right here, we have a tiny mushroom. Very, very nice. Definitely can be sold for money. And this one is actually new. I couldn't remember if we had Noctowl yet, but I guess we do. Luckily enough, it is nighttime. At least I'm pretty sure 8 o'clock counts as nighttime, so I think we're just going to try and catch this thing. Either I got lucky, or it definitely counts. Either way, Noctowl was caught. Its eyes are specially developed to enable it to see clearly, even in murky darkness and minimal light. I really like Noctowl. It is the regional bird of the Johto region, and I think it's definitely worthy of the title, considering that it's sort of got a, I guess we could call it a gimmick of being psychic type in, not practice, but in spirit. Either way, cutting that out, we already had a Vulpix, and we already had that one too, so I think what we want to do is we want to face off against these twins. We'll put together our power to fight. 2 is better than 1. 2 is better. But what's better mean? See, these kids haven't even been to kindergarten and they have Pokemon. I had to be through at least the 4th grade before they would give me one of these things. And that's just not fair, you know? Anyhow, we've got some very powerful Fire-type Pokemon coming on out here, so hopefully we'll be able to take them down with not too much trouble. I feel like people commonly make the mistake that Ninetales is part Psychic-type, but I am almost certain that it is not. Luckily, Lucario has Bulldoze and Mandibuzz is immune to it, so let's bring that out. And deal a severe amount of damage to the opponent. I very much like that. I have a feeling this is a combo I will be using a lot in the future, especially if Lucario is capable of learning Earthquake. I don't actually remember if it is. I would think it is. I think most Steel types can learn it. Anyway, We are down to just Arcanine, so I think, without further ado, let us bring it down. Very nice. Alrighty, we get any levels from that? We do not, but I have a feeling we're getting close. Okay, now this area is interesting because it is 100% optional. You do not have to explore this area whatsoever. I really like how the Unova region has a lot of optional areas to explore, the Strange House being one, this being another, routes 14 and 16. I really like it when optional stuff is dotted around to do. I find it really fun. I was taught by Master Chiren himself how to battle with Pokémon. So it would appear this is one of Chiren's students back at the trainer's school, which is pretty interesting. Now the question is, does she have normal types? It looks like not. Also, apparently she has Petilil still, even though level 43 is not a level you would want to see one of these things at. I don't think I even have to use Fly. I think just using stuff like Dark Pulse should take it out, because Petilil is not too great until it evolves. And of course I say that, and it manages to survive that hit. Alright, Own Tempo. I don't remember what that actually does. I'll have to look it up, although I guess there's some excitement in not knowing, although I doubt we're going to find out what it does over the course of this battle, so not sure if it's really worth considering from that point of view. Anyway, can we bring down this Vulpix with a Dark Pulse? I'm not sure if we can. No, we cannot, but we got a flinch, which means we are free to bring it down. Very nice. And up next is Misdreavus. We definitely want to keep Mandibuzz in for this one, because it is weak to Dark-type attacks. I'll be very surprised if it survives this, although, yep, it does. I would think that I, having said that, would have sort of jinxed it, I suppose, but luckily it didn't. The more that you study Pokemon, the more you'll understand them. It's like way too much fun. I agree. It's so much fun. I love it. Right here we have a Max Revive. That is definitely worth picking up. Wowee. Seems I accidentally stumbled into Shaking Grass. Unfortunately, it was not anything rare whatsoever, so we're just going to cut that one out. Now there is a hidden item it is picking up over here. There it is. Big Mushroom. Very much appreciated. And it looks like, from the looks of it, we have another incorrectly set flag. That is a little annoying. But over here, of more interest, there is a trainer. I love bug-type Pokemon, and I love bug catching. Of course, I love Pokemon battles, too. Okay, this guy has 4 Pokemon. That's kind of crazy. And one thing he's pulling out is Escavalier. That is a little bit scary, because I'm pretty sure Escavalier is part Steel-type, meaning that Mandibuzz doesn't really have much to do here. I'm realizing that there are a lot of more Pokemon that are Bug and Steel than I originally thought. I think we talked about this last episode, even. So anyway, we are going to bring out Victini and hit this thing with a Flame Burst, because we want that quad weakness action. There we go. Very nice. Okay, get a boosted amount of experience because of the Lucky Egg. Now we have Galvantula. I think we'll keep Victini in for these just because they're all pretty much guaranteed to be weak to fire. And might as well stick with what works, right? And up next is Excelgor, which I think is pure Bug? I'm pretty sure it's pure Bug. I'm actually not sure. Alrighty. Man, Victini has got some raw power to it. Do not underestimate this thing, even though it's quite small. And last up is Scolipede, which hopefully will fall to Flame Burst, but Scolipede has been known to take some crazy hits. Luckily, it cannot stand up to the raw power of Victini, and we win. Very nice. Alrighty. Let's head onwards over here, and down here we have TM92 Trick Room. Trick Room is interesting because it completely inverts the speed order of Pokémon in battle, which I think is a very fun idea. Anyway, right here it would seem we have yet another incorrectly set legendary flag. Again, I really have to hope that that doesn't cause any issues going forward in the LP. I don't think it will, but we're going to have to be cautious. I back up my save every episode, so I don't think we have to worry about it that much, though. Anyway, right here we have a Covenant Ore, which is definitely useful. And if anybody has a bit of a sharp eye, right up here, we have a hidden grotto. Now, what is inside? It would appear to be a big mushroom, which once again we can sell to a maniac for money. Anyway, back out here, we are picking up yet another hidden item. Somewhere. I'm actually not sure where. Do you fight me? You do not. Why do delicious vegetables grow in the fields of Mistralton City? It's because the ones who grow them are very picky about the mulch they use. It's good mulch. Strong mulch. It's stored up a lot of energy from nature. And that makes it really stinky. Such a powerful aroma, it burns all the way to the back of your nose. Aw, just remembering it makes me dizzy. And we get the FunFest mission Mulch Collector. Stinky, stinky mulch grows delicious vegetables. Awkward, but true. Anyway, right over here we have a rare candy, which is another item that we definitely want to pick up. Now, I'm pretty sure there are FunFest missions that I could have grabbed by this point, but haven't. That's something I will have to keep my eye out for. Right here we have a PP Max, which is awesome. And I think this is actually the end of the line for this area, at least this way. People who are keen-eyed will notice that this area actually has two different ways to go right at the start. And we took one way, and I think we've pretty much cleared it out. There is a ripple of water over there. I want to explore what it is. Who wants to bet it's something we've seen before? Yep, something we've seen before. Not too surprised about that. Anyhow, heading back over this way is what we want to do next because we want to explore the other half of this area. So, if we hop down here and come over this way, another way to explore in this area is up here, which is funny because this is actually all there is up here, so I guess our definition of branching paths is a little bit loosely defined. But anyway, right here we have the last trainer in the area who claims to train poison types. His name is Wes. Nice name. Although it's funny how he mentions poison types when Cottony is 100% not a poison type. Like, at all. Oh well, it might have been one of those text oddities from modifying NPC trainer parties. Anyway, can we take this thing down in 2 hits? If not, we really kind of wasted our time. Oh, nope, there we go. Because you know Fly would take it down in 1 hit, so you kind of want to optimize that. Anyhow, we have Subviper right here, so I think I'm going to switch in Victini to smack it with a Zen Headbutt. Okay. Although I have to wonder how long it's going to be before we get a hold of the Psychic TM, because I'm pretty sure we do not yet have it. Although there are some shops out there in the world that sell TMs, so we might want to make a big purge of TM purchases at some point when we have more money, because as you might expect, since that we have infinite use TMs now, the TMs that are for sale are incredibly expensive. So if you want to buy all the TMs on sale, you're going to need a lot of cash. Anyway, down goes the last trainer in the area. Now that is actually not all there is to find in this area, because if you look very closely right here, there is a second hidden grotto in the Abundant Shrine. Head up here and we have a Pokeball. Decent. I'm really hoping we'll start running into more Pokemon in these things, because there are a few Pokemon that will only appear in the hidden grottos. But anyway, now that we have explored the entirety of this area, I would like to do a couple more things around the world. As you might expect, there are areas that we have visited in the past that have waterfalls, one of them being Route 20, so we are going to fly right over there and explore some new portions of it. Right down here on the riverside of Route 20, we want to hop onto the water because, as you might imagine from back in episode... oh, what episode was it? 37 or something like that? We came back to this area. As I was saying, we came back to this area to explore some exclusive areas in the season of autumn. And then again, much later, once we obtained Surf, we came here to explore the area for that purpose. Now we can come back here with Waterfall, but unfortunately we're a little bit... I did not mean to hop down there. I'm stupid. There's an item up there, and I decided to try and loop back around in order to get back, and there's an item up there that I completely missed out on. Derp, derp, derp. And apparently there's a hidden item right here that I never grabbed. Wow. This is a train wreck. Anyway, now that we're back here, I have to jump over this again in order to get a hold of this. Big mushroom, very nice. I'm going to go climb that waterfall for the third time this episode. Alrighty, as I was saying, right over here there is nowhere we can go, but down here... as I was saying, down here, as you can see right there, even though we've come here once as our initial exploration, second after getting the ability to explore the area during the fall, and third now after getting the ability to get Surf, and now after getting Waterfall, we have to come back here during the autumn, now that we have Waterfall, to fully explore the area. It's kind of insane. Anyway, if we loop around here, we can verify that there is, in fact, nothing for us. But if we loop around to the bottom, there is, of course, the elephant in the room, which is this cave. This is, in fact, the Cave of Being. They say the deepest part of the cave leads to the Sinnoh region. You hear this music? Yeah. Very, very Sinnoh-like. Anyone who's a big fan of the Sinnoh region like me had an absolute freak-out when we heard that this music was returning. Like, how awesome is that? Unfortunately, for the time being, there is absolutely nothing to do in this area. But take a look at this pond. We have a spot here, a spot here, and a spot here. Anyone familiar with the Sinnoh region will know that these spots more than likely correspond to something very central to the plot of those games. What might that be? Well, we're just going to have to wait until later to find out. But now that we have explored this portion of the region with waterfalls, as far as I can remember, there is only one more area in the entire Unova region with waterfalls that we have not yet explored that we have access to. So I will meet you guys over once again in Lostlorn Forest. Alrighty, here we are in Lostlorn Forest. Now that we have Waterfall, we can finally explore the remaining portion of this area right here. So, if we ascend the waterfall, you will see that there is in fact a trainer up here, which is quite surprising. He's probably going to be much stronger than the other trainers in this area because you need waterfall in order to get to this guy. And he's got quite a lot of Pokemon right here. A little bit nervous for this one actually, level 50. I don't remember for sure, but I think this might be the first level 50 opponent we have encountered in the series thus far. Which means our over-leveledness is not quite so over-leveled anymore, because 50 is right about where our team is. Kinda crazy. We get very lucky right there and have the Stone Edge miss us. Which means I think we're gonna make our way out of this one unharmed. Gastrodon gets level 51, very nice. And out next is Heracross. Definitely want to keep battling for this one because Heracross, being part bug and part fighting, is actually quadruple weak to fly. So I think there is no question about what we ought to do right here, and that is use Fly. I would have been very surprised if it survived that. Quad weaknesses are no joke. Alrighty, up next is Scizor. Gonna want to switch for that one because this is yet another bug and steel type that I completely forgot existed, apparently. Just watch, there's probably like 20 bug steel types out there that I just don't remember existing. Anyhow, we gotta be a little bit cautious because Victini's fire type does neutralize its psychic weakness to bug, but I have a feeling we could still get hit pretty hard here. Luckily, we outspeed, which is quite surprising because Scizor, if I remember correctly, is quite fast. Victini gets level 54. And up next is Yanmega. I think we're going to keep in this one because I don't think I have any rock types to take advantage of this particular quad weakness. And of course we have Protect coming out. Does this thing have speed boost? It does. Now you have to wonder if we will still be faster than it. And we are, wow. I'm impressed. And it doesn't actually survive. No wait, no, it does survive. It doesn't actually go down. That's right. This is the 4th episode I'm recording this weekend. You gotta give me a break here. And now it is actually outspeeding us. Alrighty, no big deal though because it is down. Alrighty, I think this is his last Pokemon. Here we have Volcarona. As you might imagine, this is the Pokemon that we encountered in the depths of the Relic Castle. That one-off encounter that we had, which is pretty interesting. However, since it is not a legendary Pokemon, we should expect to see quite a few trainers using it. And of course it has Giga Drain, because why wouldn't it, you know? Ouch! Wow, that hurt a lot. Now, is Surf gonna bring it down? I doubt it. Yeah, it survived, which is unfortunate. We're not gonna outspeed this thing. I'd rather Gastrodon get the experience from Volcarona, though. So I'm going to switch over to Lucario, who can more than certainly take a hit from this thing. Especially if he was smart and used Giga Drain. Oh wow, he used Psychic. Huh. Oh well. Pretty sure we're faster than this thing anyway, so let's just hit it with... I'm feeling adventurous. Let's hit it with Dragon Pulse. Alrighty. And down it goes. Get lots of experience for that one. Gabite gets level 48. Does that mean what I think it means? It might. Excellent. This is a defeat I cannot disagree with. It does mean that. What? Gabite is evolving. Congratulations! Your Gabite evolved into Garchomp. Welcome to what is probably most widely considered to be the second most broken Pokemon in the entire game. This thing is ridiculously powerful. There is only one other Pokemon I can think of that needs a nerfing more than this one. It is that good. Imagine this thing will be demolishing quite a bit going forward in our adventure, and man am I excited for it. and Garchomp is attempting to learn Crunch, which is a very powerful Dark-type move right here. I think I want to get rid of Sandstorm for this one, just because there aren't too many other Pokemon on my team that can take advantage of it. Because I'd rather not get backed into a corner where I have Sandstorm damaging my allies. So I think we are just going to delete it and make room for Crunch. I'm more of a straight damage guy than damage over time, personally. But anyway, the other big elephant in the room is that there is an hidden item up here, right there. A grass gem. Very nice. And the third elephant in the room is the fact that this is the location of the only doubles grass in Lostlorn Forest. Which means, of course, we are going to have to return to this area for a third time when we start doing mass catching episodes again, because we'll have to catch even more Pokemon in here. Fourth elephant in the room, I think, if we're keeping track, we have TM22 Solar Beam right here, which is a very powerful move. It's basically a grass-type version of Fly. But anyway, that is everything of interest up here in Lostlorn Forest. For the moment. So I think what I want to do is I want to go check the hidden grotto in this area, and if there is nothing there, I will meet you guys over in Undella Town. There is an item. A Hyper Potion. Very nice. And here we are in Undella Town. We're going to have to say goodbye to the music in this area for a while, because in the summer, come tomorrow, it will actually change over to new music. It's going to be weird recording on a Monday during school, but I guess it can't be helped because there is something that occurs out in the bay that only happens on Mondays, so I'd definitely like to cover it now instead of skipping over it like I did with Mandibuzz. But I think with that, we are going to be ending things off here. This past episode of Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we explored the Abundant Shrine, an area hidden away on Route 14. We also explored Route 20 and Lostlorn Forest with our new move Waterfall, and probably the biggest event, we had our Gabite evolve into the almighty Garchomp. And next time on Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we are going to be heading out into the bay and doing some more exploring before pressing onwards to Opelucid City. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.